Hi everyone, On the Essentials is back with another episode of the Bad and the Ugly. With Majo, Polyply, and Echo3. How excited are you guys?
Woohoo! Can't wait. Episode 4, baby.
Episode 4. It's been probably almost a year since we did our first episode.
Yeah.
11 months. So we have been away, but we've been looking at all the cards in that time, and we picked out some good ones. In case you haven't seen it before, the setup is quite simple. The users design cards. We show them to an AI designer, Echo3, in this case, and find out how horrible or great they are. Some of them are great, as we found out with Super DK and his card Healing Touch, which was in episode 1 and became a real card. Now, that's not going to happen very often, though, because the high bar that Echo3 has judging these cards. But it does show that there's a chance, doesn't it, Echo?
Absolutely. And the beauty about that Healing Touch cards from Super DK is it just went in pretty much word for word. Exactly, it didn't change. I think all that we added was the renew keyword. That was it. But that was the only change. And that is so rare from a design point of view to go from initial concept to finish with very little change. So yeah, that was spot on. So hopefully you've got some more Chef Kiss cards for me that I can put in ARH8, please.
Chef,
Save me a job.
Yeah,
couple of cards, please. That'd be great.
Maybe we should call the series the Chef Kiss, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's an idea.
The Chef Kiss, the Bad, and the Ugly is dog shit, as Echo called one of Majo's.
Yeah. As I said, I apologize about that. I'll watch my time.
I prefer the brutal truth.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's get straight to it then with our first card. Normally, it takes a wee while for all of the designers that we've had on, and including Echo3, takes them a while to kind of get into it and get their brain adjusted space to be judging the difficult task of judging new cards completely blind. So we're going to start with quite a simple one this time. From who's this one? Threat Level Midnight.
Threat Level Midnight. He's been quite active. Yeah.
He posted, and but when he posted it, he said, "Now I've watched all the GBU episodes. Thank you, Threat Level Midnight. I took all their advice and tried to make a card that would be a chef's kiss." So here we are introducing Just a Simple Man, which is a yellow hero didn't cost event. Right now, I guess I'll take her through this, shall I? Okay, so Just a Simple Man. If I don't make it through this, Majo and Polly, you've got to pick.
I got your back, man.
Right, okay. So, zero cost yellow hero event. Take one set-aside golf ball and put it under one of 3 set-aside cups. Have your opponent count to 10 while you move the cups back and forth. At the end of 10 seconds, they guess which cup the ball is under, unless you forget to yell "Pudu" before them. Right. You gain a second guess. And if your opponent guesses correctly, you must take the ball attempt to shoot it into one set-aside basketball hoop from your seat. You may take one additional shot per shield on one of your characters. So if you've got 3 shields, you get 3 shots. If your opponent has more shields than you, they are allowed to attempt to block the shot. If the shot is missed, both players must race to a set-aside finish line. If you spot a bounty hunter, your opponent must race while hopping on one foot. First across the finish line gains a shield. If that shield would put you or your opponent over the limit, you gain a shield break action where you and your opponent must fit as many shield tokens into your mouth as possible. The one with the most in their mouth without swallowing gains an additional shield regardless of restrictions. If any shield tokens are swallowed, you gain a resource. Spot a choking opposing force player to roll a force choke die into your pool.
The fact that this costs 0 is absurd. This should at least cost 5. It's a game in and of itself.
There you go. So do you want to take us through your thoughts on that, Echo? What do you think?
I apologize for the magnification issue. Don't worry. Everybody at home watching this on YouTube will be able to clearly read this because it will take up the entire screen when I zoom into it.
Duncan, could you repeat that card for me again, please?
Well, that's the first time I got through it without collapsing. So I think Majo can probably take you through the main pointers in this one. What do you think?
Yeah. All jokes aside, man, threat level midnight. Thank you. Thank you for this card.
You gave us a real laugh with all playing your card.
You're starting with a game of 3-card Monty, but with golf balls.
We're not actually assessing this card, are we? Because I stopped listening.
Yeah. What?
You don't like it?
Yes, we are. We are. You've got to. Right. They're ugly.
And it's off the charts, this one.
Right. Okay, Chef's Kiss for threat level midnight then.
I'm gonna have to make a new icon for this one, I think.
Off the charts.
Off the charts.
Yeah. I'm never doing this series again.
I'm not sure if it's trying to take the piss out of our design for having so many words on cards and how the game's now more complicated than ever. I don't know if it's playing on that or not. So
no. Well, Echo, welcome back to the good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
Let's roll them. Let's move on.
All right. Well, obviously that's a joke, but a lot of the cards are actually quite good that we're going to see. I want to say one thing before we start, though. There's been so many posted and it's amazing to see it all, and everyone's chatting about it. Big fellow member Echo3 gets involved in the chat and helps people make cards a lot better. So it's a really good channel, and it's sort of got a life of its own. We can't show them all in this one video, of course. We'll see them all hopefully a lot of them in future episodes. So if you posted it, don't be downhearted if it doesn't. We can only fix so many, and otherwise we'll be here for like 3 hours. And also the purpose of it isn't to make fun of anyone's design, apart from threat level midnight. It's constructive criticism that we're after, and that is what Echobase is great at. Yep. So there we go. I've said the happy speech out of the way. Let's get on with the show. Majo, you will take us through our first proper card.
Let's do it. All right. All jokes aside, you ready, Echo?
Yeah, man. Hit me.
So, all right, here we go. First up, we have Hidden Power from Cross JD. Hidden Power says... Sorry, I can't read on the screen. Okay, I'm going to look at it here. This is a 0-cost villain blue event. Discard a blue ability from your hand to remove a die. If there was another copy of this card in your discard pile, you may play a blue ability from your discard pile, decreasing its cost by 1. Villain, 0-cost removal. A little bit of cost reduction.
So if you've got 4 cents in your hand, you could discard it to remove any die, and then if there's another 4 cents in your discard pile, could play that. Well, play any blue ability, decreasing its cost.
No, yeah, I guess if there's another copy of Hidden Power in your discard pile, you may play a blue ability.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Basically like the blue villain version of Black Market Connection. So it's removal. There's action economy in here. That's quite good. I mean, it's very powerful, in my opinion.
Good. It's too good.
Yeah.
Like all you're doing is, so you're playing blue villain. You're probably playing 10 to 12 abilities in your deck. And all you have to do is discard one from your hand to remove a die. There's the only spot requirement is blue ability. You don't have to spot a blue character. You don't have to. There's no limit on what type of die you can remove. I like the design space of the second sentence. If there is another copy of this card in your discard pile, like we've done that with Scum and Villainy, Borderline, Maintain Position, those cards from Unlikely Heroes. Like, I really enjoy that space. But the ability in itself, discard a blue ability from your hand to remove a die. Like, theoretically, it's costing you this card, Hidden Power, and it's costing you 2 cards from hand to remove a die. I mean, you think of it that way, it's not so bad. But then to play a blue ability from a discard pile, sure, that's a one-time thing, unless you're somehow recurring through something like, if you can somehow get this back into your hand and the other one's still...
Right, with like Intel Breach or something.
That's
like
one.
red.
That's the card I was looking for. Then it becomes a bit bonkers, but as it in itself, like cool design space, but it's too good. As it is, it's too good. Yeah, it's not balanced.
You're not getting punished for discarding that blue ability from your hand because it can immediately...
No, not at all. You're advancing your own game state by removing the opponent's die for the cost of the card in your hand, which is standard, but you expect a resource cost on top of that. But then you're actually netting a resource, so it's just way above curve.
Wait, I've got a quick question then before you move on. Would this card be a valuable card even if it didn't have to remove a die? If you discarded a blue ability and then played Hidden Power, you could then play an ability, a different. Even if it didn't have the remove a die aspect.
I don't think it would see much play.
No.
Because you guys play, Marjo, you play blue.
Grow Beyond.
Like Grow Beyond is a card that sees good play. This is just a baby version of that. Like, does the game need it? No, because we have Grow Beyond.
True. This kind of reminds me of, what's that card from the Grievous set? Sinister Peace?
Yeah.
I think you had to discard another card from your hand and then...
remove a dice at a value of 2 or more.
2 or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's no limit on the die you're removing. And then the second time you're doing this, you're netting a resource by playing a blue ability from your discard pile. So it's all a bit above curve for me.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Well,
it's a cool card, but we need to change it up a little bit in there for sure.
I was for Cross JD, so
sorry, Cross JD. Sorry, man. I needed to start this video with a disclaimer that I'm not here. I don't want to make enemies out of anyone in the community. If I say bad things about your cards, I'm so sorry.
They know by now.
All constructive.
That they think that, but in their minds they're just going that.
Actually, I'm still bitter from. I had a card called Somehow Palpatine Returned, and still can card that's ever been.
You love that card.
So be it. Are you giving that bad or an ugly?
Ugly.
I'm harsh.
First ugly.
I'm super harsh with this. I'm really sorry, Crush JD. I'm sorry, man.
I'm harsh, man. You're drinking a beer.
Yeah.
All the... Yeah, exactly.
Can't say my there we go. This one. First one down. All right.
Qualified.
I'm up.
The next card.
All right. So we have a support by Fablewick. It is. And this is the first time I'm reading it, so bear with me. Lucre Hulk class battleship. It's a support capital ship red villain for 5 resources. The support can be activated. After you activate the support, roll 2 set aside Separatist landing craft dice into your pool. You may spot a leader to deal an opponent 2 indirect damage. Ooh, I love me some battle droids. Battle droid recursion. Sure. Let's see. Separate landing crafts cost how much originally? 2? 2, yeah. And then the special on it, you had to discard the vehicle to then write the landing craft, right? And then, yeah.
Versus out of
that's right, spend 2. What's interesting about this, and it actually made me go back and look at the recent rules reference guide update that Echo3 did about the sort of special abilities being inherent to the die. And I think this only works because of that, right? Because if you don't have the Separatist landing craft in play, you might normally think, oh, that special means nothing. But the fact that it's inherent to the die, I think, is what allows this support to actually work.
think with the cost of the cards, though, are we wrong to make an assumption that he is assuming you could be able to get more battle cards onto?
No, yeah, that's what it says. You roll into set aside Separatist Landing Craft. If it rolls a special, that's what I'm saying. That special is inherent to the die. You don't need to have Separatist Landing Craft in play for that special to mean what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty wild.
I mean, how would that max out then? So you activate it once a turn, let's see. And then you roll 2 dice into your pool. So you could potentially, if you had a massive load of resources, get 2 battle droids out.
Some focus, right, which Red Valen does tend to have. It's quite interesting. Does this see play over other capital ships, though? I don't know. It's not outputting a lot of damage. It's just extending the game.
Yeah.
Echo, you've had some time to think about it. What do you think?
It's quite a cool design space again, rolling in set aside things, and the theme's on point with the Separatist landing crafts. I did have to Google and check the wording on the landing craft to see if you had to discard the support from play to trigger the special on the landing craft, but you don't, by the way it's worded. It's quite cool. I don't think it's gonna see any play because all the die itself is 1 shield, 2 shield, resource special. Like, you're not gonna spend 5 to occasionally take a resource or a shield. All you're gonna hunt for is that special. Then you're gonna spend 2, and your net cost is 7, and you've gained 6 health. Say you're on one of them. So I think it's actually over. Is it overcosted? Maybe. I don't think I'm spending 7 resources on the round I play it to get a battle droid out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I'm one off of playing a win condition card in the Blizzard, so I'd rather just save up and win the game by playing a Blizzard.
Or the Executor, the new capital, costs 7.
Yeah, so I feel like the one card that we can kind of compare this to, and this is a bit of a stretch, but remember Camino Cloning Facility? I know you used to love that card, Polly. It's banned now.
I love that card.
So that card, you just were kind of playing the game you wanted to play, resolving red dice, and eventually, it ticks up. You get a trooper. This is like, man, like you said, you got to spend a lot of money. But some people like that kind of a style. They're like, hey, I want to reinforce my ranks.
Yeah,
it's just like I want a meat shield. But you need a lot of money to do that.
Like Echo said, there's way better ways to do something like that.
Yeah. So what do you rate it, Echo?
Oh man.
Well, don't feel bad. People understand what this is.
Ugly. It's halfway between bad and ugly. Let's go. But ugly.
Bad ugly. All right.
El Racion's going to be so disappointed with that Echo.
Free Camino.
I'm joking. That was from Fablewick, who sent in so many cards. And
Fablewick. Sorry, man.
So, Fablewick, we just have to give him a shout out. He has so many. It was very hard to pick. Very hard to pick. And I'll just say this too, that people are wondering, why did they pick that one over my other one? We have our reasons, but also like sometimes when we pick a card, it's because we also want to highlight, somebody who's making a lot of contributions and make sure they get something, something on the episode.
Interesting too. Interesting cards are always good to talk about.
Yeah.
Bring up discussion.
Yeah. And this was the only support that we have, I believe, in all of these cards we're going to see today. So that's one of the reasons why this particular one was chosen.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. What's next?
Next one, I'll take us through, is a card from someone very close to your heart, Echo3, Lando Wonka, with twin sons.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let's go, Lando. What have you got?
Hold on. I was out of order because it's not. That wasn't the way on the list. There we go.
I will guess. Yeah. So, Twin Sons of Tatooine, which is neutral battlefield with powered action. power action, turn one of your dice to a side showing the same value and symbol as an opponent's dice. Couldn't get any more simpler. Simple is often the ones that get the chef's kiss. Good rating.
That's got a great theme.
Feel
The
so
Twin Sons.
Twin Sons of Tatooine. There's going to be two dice out there. They're going to meet each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of card that feels like maybe it always existed, but hasn't. Possibly.
It is. It's so true, Duncan. Like when you read that, you think surely another Battlefield does that same thing, but lo and behold, it doesn't. This is unique.
There's a card in Unlikely Heroes that no one's ever played called Echo3 to Echo7, which obviously that's my name and Mark's name. And that says turn another character die to a side showing the same symbol and value as that die. Like, so it's the same text as that, but it's restricted to character. No one ever plays it. It costs one. It doesn't see play. And fun fact about that card, actually, we couldn't come up with a name with it. So Echo3 to Echo7 was just a placeholder name for it for forever.
Right.
And then we still couldn't figure out a name for it. So it just went to print as that. And we were like, oh, that stayed then. Because this was Rock Control. It was when Rock Control was on the set lead for that set. And it wasn't ever meant to be I wanted to put my name on a card. It was never that. It was just it was a placeholder name, and it just went to print because George never changed it.
I love that.
Maybe one of them felt a bit left out, and that's why he done the exact same.
Yeah,
the same.
Prince, it was a really good Battlefield. I'd limit it to character. Otherwise, it could get a bit wild. Turn one of your dice, the side showing the same value and symbol as an opponent's dice. I'd want to live like that's so versatile. You're never going to play any other Battlefield, are you? That is just like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? You have to limit it somewhere. So I would restrict that to a subtype of what you can turn. So let's say character. If that said turn one of your character dice to a side showing the same value and symbol as an opponent's dice, then I'd give it a chef's kiss. In fact, I'm just going to put it in set 8 right now. Thank you.
It's a question for you, Echo. It is a Battlefield. I both players have the opportunity to use it, depending on who claims. And it is a once per round, I should say, power action. So why is it a little bit too strong, the fact that it's any die?
Because it's just so broad. It's just what I pointed on in my last comment was it's just so, the utility is just so available. If it was any die, you're just not going to choose a different Battlefield. That would be my assessment on it. Like, it's so good that anyone, as you say, you know how it is with these Battlefields. You choose a Battlefield that will suit your deck, and if you go on your deck, your opponent might not get any value out of the claim or its power action. You know how some of these Battlefields are designed, but this is just so utilitarian to both players that it's too good. There has to be a limit on it somewhere.
It's like Emperor's Throne Room then.
Nah.
I always found that a real hard Battlefield to play against.
Yeah, if you're not running specials, you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And I see your point though, Echo, because it is so utilitarian, like you say, because whether you're running upgrades or support, vehicles, like this Battlefield is just good no matter what, right? Whereas if you were to limit it, I got you. That's really interesting.
This reminds me a lot of Theed, even errated Theed, where you saw it everywhere. It didn't matter, and basically the choice of do I take shields or do I go first didn't matter, because if you both brought the same Battlefield, you took shields every time because you were going to get the benefit anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No one would choose anything else. Like that would be, Ollie's nailed it. That's the ATG Theed meta. Like yeah, you'll just play this.
Interesting.
So my rating for this is good, but it's not money, but it's good. It is good.
Ugly, good. All right. Okay.
That's like the OTS crew. I think I've made that joke before, so I must be one of the bad ones. Okay, Polly, you got the next card here.
I got the next one. All right, here we go. I love this card so much. Darth Clooney made it. It's a plot on the sensors. It's a 2/4 cost plot. Neutral red, plot intel. After you activate a character for the first time each round, you may roll 1 set-aside ID9 Seeker Droid die into your pool, or 2 dice if this plot is elite. Set those dice aside after they are resolved or removed.
Let me remind myself of the dice sides on the ID9.
So I'm pretty sure the ID9 Seeker Droid, it's the X.
Yes, and they are.
So if you've got one of those dice, it's just a 1.
And they're
right?
equal to the number of ID9 Seekers. They're like the X-Wing.
They include themselves.
Yeah.
Equal to the droid dice in your pool. So as you resolve them, that number gets smaller. With X-Wing, it stays cards.
Oh, that's right. X-Wing, it stays with
Wait, hold on.
cards. That's right.
I thought ID9 was, it had to sort of be a cumulative effect with other ID9s.
Yeah.
With the
The
dice-
dice is equal to the number of other ID9s in your pool.
The dice in the pool. The dice in the pool, yeah.
So when you activate this, or you get when you get these dice, you're hoping for like a 2. And what's funny is when you resolve the 2, then the second die becomes a 1.
Correct.
So
Yep. That's the way the ID9s works. I love the ID9s.
yeah,
I get
and of course, how could we not include this card?
Why is it red?
It's the ID9 on the...
You're right, because the ID9 are blue dice.
Yeah, because of the Seventh Sister, I guess.
Are they currently legal? I think they are.
She is.
Right.
Yeah.
And they would be. So you could actually get a hell of a lot more into your pool than just the two. Well,
4
Yeah.
in my opinion, does seem a little high for 2 ID9 dice.
but then if you're already getting a couple in with Seven Sister every turn, then they all of a sudden become 4 melee, 4 focus.
I don't.
Or
Polly,
Yeah.
you say you think 4 points is too high for 2 of these.
Yes.
If you roll in 2, so you action this, so you after activate a character, you roll in 2 of these. If you hit discard on both, you're taking 3 cards out of the opponent's hand.
It does have a
Or-
discard side, doesn't it?
Yeah, or you can hit 3 focus, 3 melee, 3 disrupt. I've got it up on my screen. 3 shield. Like for 4 points, it's pretty good.
And it's an after effect. You don't have to action it. You don't have to exhaust it, anything like that.
Yeah,
Some action economy.
yeah.
And if the character that you activate is Seven Sister, then she's putting one in as well. So
Oh, it's mad with Seven Sister. Yeah,
yeah.
that would have to be. You'd have to play test that to see how that goes. That did get out of hand. I mean, she's only 10 health, so she's a bit squishy for modern standard. But
I suppose that the card, maybe the card is red. This one is from Darth Clooney. Which I don't know if we mentioned that yet, but maybe it's red because, like, at the end of the day, these were manufactured by the Empire. So sort of like, if you kind of separate it from the Force user who is known to use, so sort of accompany them, I don't know. Thematically, that could make sense.
It was the initial ID9s.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
yeah. And then there was Iden's ID 10. Was it a 10? I don't know. Iden had one as well, didn't she, in the game? And-
Yeah, I used to love that card.
And
That card was a 1-drop. Yeah.
Well, we based our whole logo on all the sensors around. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I think it's costed too high.
That's why the Echo's going to give it a chef's kiss. It's on the sensor.
No, it's good. I'll give it a good.
Yeah.
It's not. I think it's costed fairly. You know,
What's interesting, I have to say this, like, what I appreciate, Echo, is that because you don't hesitate to give something an ugly, that really means that something good is actually good. And it's like, all right, I believe you. You're not just blowing smoke.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good card. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you built the deck right, you're rolling out 6 dice to start.
Yeah. I mean, imagine this, like, I don't know, pair with yellow and
That's what I'm thinking.
those things roll blanks. You're, what's it called? Black Salt Station. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff with this. Yeah. Just extra dice.
Yeah, my immediate assessment is good. I would honestly feel like this is a card that needs to be play tested to find out if it's too good. So that's my final assessment, is that I would put that in a set, but with a caveat of it has to be play tested, because you're getting 2 dice. You could, as I said, you could be getting 4 shields, 3 shields, 3 discard, 3 disrupt.
Yeah.
And they're coming in with the tempo of one of your characters as well, which is quite it's quite important. It's not an action in itself to roll 2 of these in, which I would prefer if this was an action, exhaust this plot, roll 2 side set seeker droids, rather than coming in with a character, because that's a lot coming into the pool from the opponent. If the opponent's on this, do you know what I mean? Character upgrade and 2 of these, it's a bit much. So I think this needs to be, to address this on the fly, I would change this to be an action to exhaust to roll 2 in. Honestly, I don't know if it should be worth 5, but I'd need to play test. Honestly, it's more kind of the value's like 4.5.
I mean, if you look at 4-point red plots, you look at Relentless Advance, which is a very good. But is this in power level?
Has team up in?
Yeah. Plots are so funny to assess. Like, plots in Unlikely Heroes, most of them had team up. So it kind of warped pricing of plots from there on. So I've been set lead ever since that set. I've done the last 3 sets, and no one's played any of the plots, not because they're priced incorrectly or they're overpriced or they're bad. It's just the plots are just so good. They're net effect free, the ones that we did in Unlikely Heroes, that plots in themselves are almost need to be priced in their own vacuum outside of anything you ever know about plots. And that's what we've done in Resurgence. You probably think, oh, that could probably be a 2, but it's actually a 1. I just kind of bit the bullet and went and priced them in their own vacuum plots. It's all just because the team up mechanic just kind of ruined and warped the pricing of plots, in my opinion. Like, but I guess no one stops and thinks about it as much as, say, I would have to, like, designing the cut.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, it's tough, and that puts a lot of, weight on your shoulders, right? Every designer has to think about not just what's now, but what's to come, and design in the future.
Before, yeah.
It's what you do is the opposite of power creep. You're trying to bring it down a little bit slowly over time.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, like in ARH, we all know that we've hit this peak. We're all aware of this power creep. Like you have to power creep, otherwise you're never going to play new stuff.
Right.
But it's managing the power creep is what you have to do. Is like, is it 0.1 more powerful? Yeah, cool, that's fine. You don't want it to be a whole 0.9 up. You don't want to go from here to here, do you? You just want to yeah.
Yep.
I'll stop before the comment section rips me on power creep and everything.
All
right.
Good cards.
Kola Koala.
Card called Plot Armor. Boom. Gray hero. Lay it in a hero deck. It's a 2-cost upgrade with equipment. Raise robes. Plot armor. When an opponent discards a card from your hand, deck, discard pile, or your play area, so when an opponent gets rid of anything of yours, you may exhaust this upgrade to stop this effect. Basically, computer says no, which is quite a powerful thing anyway. But it has an action. Any player makes action. Remove 2 of your dice showing discard to discard this upgrade. It's a very powerful card, but it's got one of these. Any player can get rid of this card by discarding the upgrade rather than discarding.
Yeah.
We like. I mean, when we looked at this, we immediately went, "Oh, that's new, that's different." Destiny doesn't have to have something that says no. You know, it's like you shall not.
Right.
Type of thing.
So, yeah, I think it's obviously extremely powerful, but the fact that it kind of has a get out of jail, or the opponent who wants to discard your stuff can maybe action this to get it out of the board. Yeah, I mean, it has like kind of like a slice terminal effect going on where it's just like, nope, it's an interrupt in a sense.
Wait a minute.
Counterspell.
So if I'm playing against you, Majo, and you have this, I use the action of this plot armor. Couldn't you just say no?
Any player may use this action. Remove 2 of your dice to
So I do that. I do that, but the top of it says you get to exhaust it to say no.
That is, you're not wrong. Oh man, we're gonna have to give Koala the benefit of the doubt on that one. Well, don't get it. I thought this was quite interesting. We hadn't ever seen an effect like this before.
Well, okay,
But you're right.
Like
You're right, Polly.
reword that live and say this card is exempt.
Nope.
I mean, it costs 2, but like you're not getting any other benefit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're playing this. I guess if like there's a heavy mill meta, if like DM gets reprinted. I mean, yeah, I mean, so and here,
you're playing it to sort of, if you're playing Crosshair and you've got like the Executor ship, and he's going to then take that from your hand and discard. If you've got something in your play area or hand that you need to stay on the table, this is the card that you play to protect it.
Yeah,
like
it's like it kind of reminds me of that one card. I remember I used to play Super DK. We would play over webcam. He would bring out the Falcon, and he would freaking reset that thing and beat me up with it. But he would also play, I think it was called Shield Generator or something. It was like a one-time use. It would stop any discard effect. It would stop like a DM type effect. It would protect his investment. Yeah. So
here we go, Echo.
All right. Okay.
what do you think?
What do I think?
Floor is yours. Yeah.
I think that Color Koala obviously isn't a fan of Mill. I'm not sure there's many of us who are. He obviously doesn't like Mill. Mill right now isn't out of hand. I don't think we've had cancel effects in the game before. In FA we had stolen data pad. It literally just you try to remove that die. Nope. You discard the data pad and nothing happens. What else have we had? As you said, we've got the shield, the mod upgrade.
Yeah.
Shield, what is it? Shield generator? I can't remember what it's called.
It was an FFG card that I was thinking of.
Yeah. We've also, there's
Slice terminal, sort of, right?
deflector shield that you put on the vehicle. Before the vehicle would be discarded from play, discard the upgrade instead. There's been like stop effects like this. So what you do here is if you try to get rid of it, you move 2 of your dice showing discard. So it's on the opponent's character. You move 2 of your dice showing discard. That would exhaust and stop it. But then you can mill. So it doesn't like stop it all together, but it's going to cost you. But are you actually going to put this in your deck in case you going to randomly face a mill deck? Like, I'm not sure you are.
Well, I think it's more of a protect your win condition card.
Yeah. Because it's anything. Yeah.
You know, it's your play area. So if you've got that big card down, your Blizzard, someone's going to...
If I know I'm going to a tournament where it's just me and Rando Mando signed up, I'm definitely putting this in my deck.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to assess it. I don't like it. Is that an assessment?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The wording's wrong on it. Like, you may exhaust this upgrade to cancel those effects. Like, stop isn't a word in Destiny. It'd be cancel. It's pretty bonkers. I don't think it's very good.
Okay.
I don't know what to say, guys. I'm sorry.
It's a Koala Koala, man.
I'm sorry, Koala, man. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Oh, well, it's great. Look at that.
So we're giving that one. It sounds like that one is ugly.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's great. I'd love to see Duncan in that outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, they
But it's too dark, sadly, to, too dark, sadly, to...
They have cosplay. They have cosplay at Gen Con, Duncan. Just saying.
Yep. I think I'm more in guards than Ray. Here we go. Shall I go on to the is that an ugly then? We're going to call that ugly.
That's an ugly.
Yeah. Sorry, Kyla.
Oh,
sorry, dude.
We'll get back on schedule then, and I was due to present one, which is
Number 7, right?
my own card. So I get personally to argue its merits again.
Let's go, Duncan.
Yeah. Wrecker's Gift. Boom. There we go. Now, the numbers on this are the problem, which is where I would like your
Honest feedback.
Anyway, it's an event which costs 1 and is Red Hero. After Wrecker's Gift, subtype Proton Torpedo, Bad Batch. After playing this card, shuffle it back into your deck and then reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. If this card, Wrecker's Gift, was revealed, you may pay 3 resources to deal 3 damage to 2 characters. That's got a lot of numbers on it. I apologize.
That's got a lot going on.
But basically, it's like a bomb. You play the card, and it only costs 1 to play the card, and it goes into your deck, and it gets shuffled, and then you. And if it's there, then the bomb goes off, and you get to do quite a lot. If it doesn't go off, then you only paid 1 to basically. So it's kind of almost like a cycling card. The thing that the intent, because I guess people never get the chance to state their case, but I'll state my case here. The idea behind it is that if you draw it on turn 1, you've only got like a 12% chance. Like 3 cards revealed from 25 in your deck. If you do it on turn 2, it's still got a 15% chance.
Sure.
If you wait to like turn 5 or 6, I think that goes up to like 60. So it gets better the longer the game goes on. So you're like, do you take a chance and try and do it? Got it in your hand, make a bomb, which is going to do some damage, or really you want to be drawing it turn 4 or 5, and then it's going to... However, turn 5, you're dealing the damage to 2 characters, so it may conceivably be your 1 character against their single character, in which case both characters are getting damaged. So, that's the idea. It's like a bomb, you shuffle it, don't know if it's going to go off. You might draw it again, 2 turns later, you get a shot. See if that's the idea. Now, the numbers is the hard thing. That's where we need to see what Echo.
Well, there you go.
Be brittle, man. I can take it. It's okay.
Fun, like, the idea is so cool. I love the idea that you're playing a card, put it back in your deck, you shuffle it. If you reveal it, you're doing some damage. That is so cool. But as you say, the numbers, no, I'm afraid.
He's preempting it.
He's no. Hey, you're so close though, dude. Like, let's talk about the concept of the card is awesome. I love that. Your numbers are way off.
Well, this is, we said this to you before I presented it to you. The numbers are the hard thing, and could not come up with the right. Is it a card that you pay for free to go back into your deck, and then or do you pay a higher amount and then less?
Well,
What does that do for the money? So this is one where they probably have to get expertly looked over.
so this is all right. So when it comes to cost versus how much does a cost, one resource typically equals 2 damage, or in the case of indirect, that's sometimes 3. So if you're looking at 1, whereas for this you're paying 4, maybe. You're paying 4 to deal 6. So you're under average there. You'd be looking to do 8 for your 4 resources. But it's AoE, which is quite area of effect. So spread damage, which is quite unique in the game. There's not much that does AoE right now. It's really cool, man, but it's not on the money. Conceptually it's on the money, but it's not there. You'll get in a chef's kiss, because let's talk about it, get it right.
Yeah,
because it's cool. It's something that looks worth pursuing for sure. It's really cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Woo. I'm just gonna
cool.
champagne out. You guys can continue on with it.
Well done, man.
It's the main thing was the idea that it gets stronger the game goes on, you know.
Yeah.
But if you get it in turn 1, you can still pay just to get it back in your deck. You probably don't want to reveal it turn 1. You're just paying it to get it in again.
Here's why I think it's very interesting. So you draw this in your opening hand. If you want to keep that threat density, I'll steal a word that is well known in Flesh and Blood. If you want to have that threat density in your deck, then you have to pay for this, even though you know it's likely to do nothing. Alternatively, you discard it to reroll, or you discard it at the end of the round and draw up. So it's like, man, if you get this thing early, are you really going to spend 1 resource to play it for later, to sort of to hopefully pay dividends later? That's what really intrigued me about it.
If you play it as well and it doesn't get revealed, your opponent knows that that's now deck, so they can target discarding your deck.
Yeah, pretty cool, man.
Or disrupting your resources or something.
All right, how do you rate it, Echo?
Well, I've got one more thing to say about it. I think I know the idea is as you start going through your deck and the game goes on, you're improving your likelihood of triggering it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it needs a caveat that once it's triggered, it's set aside so that it isn't constantly going off.
Oh, sure.
So once you've done it, set this card aside. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be gross.
Yeah, because otherwise you have no other game plan other to cycle your deck to get to this, to play this, and then you're not playing, or you wouldn't be able to, with these numbers, you wouldn't be able to afford to play anything else anyway, but that would be your deck.
Yeah.
But I'd say once it's triggered and it has gone off, you set the card aside. That's the caveat I'd definitely add as well.
Okay, cool.
Very nice, man.
Let's move on.
All right, let's do it. This one is from Zill, who I believe recently made his way out to the UK Games Expo. So thanks for the submission, Zill. So we've got Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor. He's a 12/15 blue hero, character Jedi. 2 melee, 2 melee, 2 reroll, 1 shield, 1 resource. Before resolving this character die, when showing damage, choose and do one of the following. So you've got 2 chances to do this with 2 melee sides. Gain or remove a shield from a character. This damage is unblockable. Resolve as if showing a range symbol. Deal 1 damage to 1 additional character. Very interesting. From Zill, 12 health. Before resolving this character die when showing damage. So the first and second boxes, the melee sides, you're going to get a lot of extra utility.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's the resolve as if it's showing range. Does it? I mean, I guess if you're pairing him with a character, another character that's got range modifiers, maybe. But
yeah,
I think the on the Discord when Jill, David, one of the UK scene players, posted it. I think he wanted to represent the difference Cal Kestis can have in the video game. So between like shield based ones, I'm not an expert on, and sort of the stances, you know, like the sort of the Obi-Wan one or the one and things like that. So
he's got a number of different stances in the Jedi Survivor game, and one of them does include carrying a pistol. So
the forms, right? Like the different forms and whatnot.
Well, they call them they call them stances in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the design intent behind this as well. It's really sort of mimicking what he's doing in the video game. You know, how he's playing. And it's not special to do that. It's before resolving the showing damage, so you can really choose how you want. Yeah. Other than that, what do you think, Echo?
This is a fantastic card. I love this card. I have one flaw with this card, and there's too many options. I want 3 of those. I don't want 4 of those.
Okay.
I can see like the text been shrunk a little bit there. We'd have to do a character count, but I think 3 options rather than 4. Think we should cut the deal 1 damage to 1 additional character. But the others are great. A gain or remove a shield. So if you, and it's a before effect, so if the opponent has 1 shield, you remove that shield and then you're dealing 2, so you're netting like 3. There's always going to be a 3 swing on it, even if you're gaining. Damage is unblockable. If that exact scenario is exactly the same effect. But obviously if they have more shields, doesn't matter. Resolve is if it was showing range damage. That's nice because what that incentivizes is to pair him with, let's say, Cassian, who have just released in Resurgence, like a ranged character. So you're not losing a lack of tempo there. That's really nice. I'd cut the deal 1 damage to 1 additional character. If I ignore that, this is getting a chef's kiss.
Ah, nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Not just because he's a fellow countryman.
No, and not because I get on. Zill's one of my best friends in this community.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, like I can, but like because it's Zill. When you said it was Zill, I was hoping it would be shit, so I could really rip him for it.
That's a British thing. I jump on and going, oh, we were really rooting for you. Be British.
Nah, British. When we're friends, we're horrible to each other.
Yeah,
like, it's obviously it's all tongue in cheek, but yeah. Yeah, fantastic cards. Nice one. That's really cool. Really cool.
Right. Good stuff. Okay.
I love it. That's great.
There you go.
That's good. It's a shame we've just had a Cal Kestis in like this set, is it, or something? But yeah, well done, Jill. That's a big thumbs up from everyone. Let's move on. Paul, you've got a card for us now.
I do.
Yeah.
I've got one from the Bassmaster. He jumped on the server recently too, when we put the call out. So this is I didn't get to meet up with the guys when we were going through cards. So I get the death sticks. Oh god, it's too big. I get the death sticks. It is a villain yellow downgrade drug. Not spice, just drug. One cost. You cannot play this card onto a character named Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think Bassmaster actually created a 2-card set. And I cannot for the life of me remember the character's name, but he did a flip. Basically, if you had Obi, if Obi was in play 2, you had to flip him to the good side. And if not, you could flip him to the not so good, maybe the nefarious side. But it has an action. Exhaust this downgrade to force an opponent to resolve one of attached character's character dice, reducing its value by 1. You may spend 1 resource to ready this downgrade. Oof. The death sticks. I had a deck named Beat Sticks. I don't think it quite did this though.
You drug them up and you manipulate them.
Pretty much.
And you can spend to ready it. So I mean, buy.
So I'm quite fond of downgrades. I think they're really interesting. They have these really cool effects. The fact that this is a downgrade drug, obviously, I think that like the character that he paired with this had some relation or some sort of like synergy with this card, but yes, like the subtype being a drug obviously doesn't really make a ton of sense in the standard format, but otherwise, I'm quite a fan of this.
It's interesting.
It is, and there's another card recently that just came out in Resurgence that sort of was it Battle Meditation. Right, you kind of force them to resolve one of their dice at a lower value. You get to bump your value.
Yeah.
So,
I think the interesting thing with this is you're exhausting it to force the opponent to resolve it, and then as part of that action, you're spending 1 resource. So, if your opponent has 2 character dice in, then potentially it could hit both character dice. Right. If they don't. As their next action, if they don't immediately, then it could get hit again by the disc.
Sure. This would be really good on 3 dice characters, but I feel like on two, like your sort of standard run-of-the-mill elite character, I feel like you're quite unlikely to get this to go off twice. So spending that additional resource to ready it, I feel like is quite a risk.
I'm definitely resolving my character die right away if they spend that resource.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's forcing a possibly negative or a suboptimal play.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
All right, Echo. What do you think of Bassmaster's Death Sticks?
Well, I'm a big fan of the subtitle. Subtype.
It could be an upgrade depending on your lifestyle choice. It doesn't have to. You're not making any moral choices here.
We're not trying.
What are you saying? Just because I'm wearing a cap and I'm covered in tattoos, you think, like, what are you saying? Okay, so my assessment of it is it's a really cool, it's a cool card. Let's ignore the Obi-Wan thing. That's pure theme. That's solely theme. Let's ignore that. To exhaust it, to force the opponent to resolve one of a touch character's character dice, reducing its value by 1. Super powerful, because you're triggering it, you're choosing it. If you've activated, you roll subpar, you don't roll anything that you don't want. Say you've hit your 1 resource side, your opponent's gonna tap this, they're gonna force you to resolve that 1 resource. You resolve it, you've got nothing, they've removed your die. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Anything above that is exceptional value. Most characters have 2 or 3 sides that have a value of 1. So you're going to get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's above curve. It's too good. And the fact you can ready it, that's bonkers. This is a 2 cost, not a 1 cost.
Okay.
Take that cost and add it to the initial play.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
it's really interesting when you put it that way. when you phrase it or frame it, right? When you think about all the characters that just have a one resource, a one disrupt, a one shield, yeah, you're blanking that.
You're just
it's
removing a die. Like
Yeah, you're
you
just
spent
removing a die.
one. Yeah.
Blank
So
it and
you're
remove
like-
it. Yeah.
You drop this. It's not even unique. You drop this round 1. All right. Drop this round 1 on. Let's pick a character. Let's say.
So the new
Pick a character. New
Dooku. Dooku's a great example, actually.
Yeah. New Dooku. You are removing a die every round, man. With this, it's army. It's way too good. It needs to cost 2. Like inhibitor chip is pretty much just a very similar effect, except you get the inhibitor, you get the die from the inhibitor effect. You know, none of us like it when an opponent drops an inhibitor chip on us, do we? We're just like, oh, come on, play the game fair, buddy. Like that's no fun. So this is a mini version of that, I think. Sure, you're gonna get you might get a resolution, but your 2 becomes a 1, or your 1 becomes a blank, and it's too good, I think. It needs tweaking.
How about if it was force the opponent to resolve one of the character's dice with a value of 1 and reduce its value by 1? So it's only going to, it's not going to pull the 2 down to a 1 or a 3 down to. Well, that doesn't really make much. Yeah. Instead, yeah, I'm talking rubbish.
I'd rather it either cost 2, or it was just a one-time thing, and you play it before an opponent resolves attached character die. Discard this downgrade from play to remove that die. Like so it just becomes a 1-for-1 removal. But a preempted 1-for-1 removal would be quite cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Triggers on resolution. I'd give it concepts there. So let's go bad.
Bad. Nice.
Like when I say bad, like it always sounds bad, but I always have to look down on my piece of paper which says good, bad, ugly, and bad is the middle option.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad, but it's the middle option.
That's the age we live
yeah.
in these days. That's the world we live in. Okay, let's move on. Okay, well, that was the Dex downgrade. We've got another downgrade to talk about, which is from the OTS friend of the server, Lucas Biryani. Another downgrade called the Buzz Droid. 1 cost grey villain downgrade droid. You may attach this card to upgrade opponent's upgrades. So attaches onto your opponent's Darth Vader's lightsaber, for example. This die may only be resolved against that attached card. After attached card has more or equal damage on it to its cost, discard it and this card, which is a little bit of a wordy way of saying this dice on this downgrade attacks the upgrade it's attached to. So it's like a little buzz droid that's gnawing away at something.
Yeah. So you're playing this on Yaddle's Ataru Mastery to get the heck out of here. It's slow. It is slow. It's going to take you 3 turns to get rid of it, but it does only cost 1.
Yeah.
It's like
+1. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you kind of have to. What's that other card? Vandalize. Sort of like it's like upgrade hate, I believe. Vandalize. So you kind of have to liken it to that. I quite like it. I like the theme of it. I love this idea of like these buzz droids, like you said, that verb you use, gnawing. They're just like kind of chipping away at it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I mean, it's quite interesting. I can probably preempt a couple of things that Echo might say, but have you had time to look at it, Echo? And what do you think?
Yeah. I think it's quite cool. Attaching a card to an upgrade is just not ever going to be anything that we're ever going to do, because like the board state would just...
We knew you were going to say that.
Just...
Well,
yeah, that's just a mess. I tell you, like, this would be really, really cool, and for me, more thematic, if it was like a modify opponent's vehicle support. So you play this on an opponent's support, like vehicle. Has to be vehicle. Let's keep theme. So you play it on an opponent's vehicle. Like I can't remember which of the Clone Wars films it was. Anakin's in his thing, and these guys are crawling all over it and trying to get in. That's exactly what that picture is.
Right.
N1
To the Sith, I think it wasn't.
Yeah, and he's and there's Delta Starfighter or whatever they're called. My Clone Wars knowledge is a bit, but if this was modified vehicle support, opponent's vehicle support, this would be so cool as a nice little vehicle as support hate. But it's never gonna be a thing to do people's downgrades. Like just the board state, like you imagine in real life. It's just, I know we play downgrades on people's characters. I know that's a thing, but there's an obvious slot where they go. You can tuck them under the opponent's mat in front of the character. Like I don't know how you guys do it in real life, but that's what we do locally. But to put this on a downgrade, you might scuff your board state with your forearms if you lean on your table. You're like, well, what was that on? What damage? Putting damage tokens on downgrades. Putting damage tokens on an upgrade, which is attached to a character, which you're also putting tokens on. You could knock your board state and you'll be like, oh, how many tokens are on that again? And then do you know what I mean? It's just messy.
Yeah, you said that in episode 1 when we presented you with Majo's tossed saber, which was also a downgrade to an upgrade, and you said the same thing. So we can.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. At least I'm consistent.
You are very consistent. Yeah. It's actually very interesting. We'll have to do like a supercut, but yeah, we kind of almost didn't include this because we knew you would say this.
All right, fair enough. Okay. So to assess it and to change it on the fly, I'll say it again. If this was modify opponent's vehicle support and you did this on opponent's vehicles, really cool. I think that would go to set. That's cool. If it was vehicle, yeah.
Okay, and that's more thematic as well, because that's what.
Yeah, exactly.
The movie. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
so yeah, really cool. Really cool.
Right on, man. Nicely done, you, Lucas Biryani.
Yeah, nice one, Lucas. But as that is, nah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
tweak it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, but it's also ugly.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, nice. We got some good cards this episode. Then that's great. And
I'm excited for this next one.
Majo has got yeah.
All right, this one was a joint effort by Duncan and I.
Yeah.
So for those who remember, charm and the counter mechanic, insult, this might resonate with you.
Yeah. No, it was just me and you. Okay.
I remember.
Okay.
So you thought resilience was great. I present to you Old Man Boba Fett with sorry, all that hype, and I gotta find the freaking card. Fragile. He's 15 health, 16, 19, 22. He's got a monster die. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He's fragile. He's old. He's a glass cannon. If one or more of this character's character dice are removed, you must remove all of this character's character and upgrade dice. He's fragile, man.
He's fragile. And we have to find the most broken image of Boba Fett that we could, like the oldest character in the game that could still conceivably be a good character.
Yeah.
The worst picture of him.
We quite like the sort of poking fun at charm, like the inverse of charm being insult. So we thought, what is like the inverse of resilience? Fragile. But it's kind of, it's for fun. But so he's got a bonkers die. But are you going to ever be able to resolve any of his dice?
I'm playing the Mud turn 1.
It's deliberately broken because it's 22 for a 15 health character that could potentially do 15 damage in one turn with 2 resource sides. You could play an 8-cost character alongside him, so you could play him with any other color. It's extremely broken. However, he's also extremely broken because if, any of his dice get done, it's all gone. So that's, it's a tempter.
Dude, that one turn that I'm holding a handful of supports or upgrades, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you missed out the most important part on this card, and I really want you to do your best Australasian accent for me, please, for his
Flavor text.
for flavor text. Yes, please.
Oh, it's more New Zealand though, isn't it? Where's my Bacta tank?
Oh, pretty good.
Yes.
I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's more fun having an American try to do a New Zealand accent, or if I ask Duncan and get a Scotsman to do a New Zealand accent.
Where's Omega?
Where's me back to tank? Where's me back to tank? Not like a band. Like a band.
Oh my god.
That was pretty good. Oh, we're going off the rails here.
Amazing. That's what it's all about. I'm not even going to assess this one. It's just like you've talked enough about it.
Just give it ugly as dog shit and let's move on.
Yeah, sure. It's as ugly as Boba Fett looks in that photo.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on.
Okay. Ollie,
Well,
you've got the next one.
we move from a character that was ugly as he looks on the page to an upgrade from threat level midnight. Now, this is the same gentleman that brought us Just a Simple Man, but this time it's a
Is he setting aside golf balls?
it's a dumb rocket. So it's a neutral red upgrade mod for 1. Modify vehicle support. After you resolve this die showing range damage, discard this upgrade from play. Cheap and deadly, as long as you can hit your target. It's just a dumb
So I'll
rocket.
be honest. I don't know why, but I love this card. I guess because I just used to love playing mods. You know, the triple laser turret and the dorsal turret. And I mean, you resolve that 3-gun side, like, you're pretty happy, even if you got to discard this thing.
It's like a one and done, you just like pay one.
I mean,
It is gone.
what else do you want from a dumb rocket? You're right. I don't mind it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing vehicles, I mean,
Obviously, you need focus.
you need some focus. Yeah.
Or like all my references are all original, like Awakening Star 2 Destiny stuff. Well, like the original viewers who I think would like turn out support dice to any side or something when you activated or like,
That's right. Yeah.
you need something like that,
It's neutral. Yeah. Who's got the biggest dumb rocket?
Yeah, Echo3.
Has the big dumb rocket? No, he's going to evaluate the big dumb rocket. Hold on.
That's it. Yeah. He's thinking about it. Or he's lost his microphone.
Sorry, my internet's going. I can't hear anything anyone's saying.
Let me know.
We're waiting on you.
Or we should probably speak so he can.
Oh, there we go. Right, you're back. Everyone's back. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening.
Big
Not my
dumb rocket strikes again.
Well, we
dumb rocket.
we explained what we thought and then said Echo3. What do you think? So you can just pick up and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything on what you guys thought. So, so I'll just go for it, shall I? I think it's fun, isn't it? It's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just when you resolve the 3 ranged or 1, you're above curve, but you have to get there. So okay, the first round you resolve an indirect. So we've dealt an indirect in the round. Then round 2 we've resolved for an indirect, and then round 3 we've resolved that 3, and then we're discarding it. For 1 resource, you've done 5 damage. It's a bit balmy. I say the value's too high on the 3. Like, I get it. It's really cool. I'm just trying to see the balance in it, really, if I'm honest. It just it's so close, but it's off. Do you know what I mean?
But it's taking up a valuable slot in a 30 card deck.
Well, this is the thing. Like, this is the other thing. Like, it's taking up a slot. You have to have the vehicle in play first to then attach this to. So, say you drew 2 of these in your opening 5, but you got no vehicle. You're going to pitch these. You're not going to hang on to them. So, the balance is. It's just so. My mind has to say, is it worth playing? Do you include it in your 30? No is the answer. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool card. It's a fun card. I like it.
The card that would fill out an FFG set, but not an ARH set.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, what do you give it?
All right, cool.
What am I going to get? I'm going to give it somewhere between a good and a bad. So it's up there. It's cool. It's a cool card. Let's call it a fun.
That's quite flattering.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Are you saying that was Threat Level Midnight's second card? Are you saying it's better than Just a Simple Man, which was the very first card of the day?
Oh, I loved that card. That was really good. I was looking forward to playing like beer pong with friends whilst playing Destiny.
Okay, well, there you go.
Right on.
A good card, but not as good as the other one.
All right, we got 2 more.
We've got 2 more. Well, let's rattle through them. We have Captain Maddox with the next one. CPK Maddox, Captain Maddox. Mandalore, the character, not the place. The ultimate. I'm guessing he might be the original Mandalorian. Who knows? We'd have to consult Captain Maddox for that one. Anyway, he's a yellow villain character. He is a leader and a trooper, so maybe the best 2 subtypes at the moment. I don't know, possibly. 13 health with a 14/18 die. So, yeah, Echo will tell us whether that's on point. He's got a 2 range side, 2 melee, a 3 melee per 1, a shield, and a resource. He has resilience, so he's the opposite of Old Man Boba Fett. Here we go. After setup, play a set-aside copy of Mandalorian Mask, which we'll look at later. It's another one that he does well alongside it. It's not the key to this. It's basically a kind of 1-cost upgrade. But we'll take a look at that later. It's more about his points and his power action, really. His power action is play an upgrade from your hand, gain 1 resource. So effectively getting a discount on an upgrade that you play, but you need the money to initially play it.
No, you can just power action to gain a resource.
Or you could, it's not a then, so yeah, okay. Or you could gain a resource. Before you resolve this die, you may discard an attached upgrade. Increase the value of the die by the cost of the discarded upgrade to a limit of 5. Wow. So let's say if it was legal, you would discard a vibro sword, and which might cost 4.
3.
What's that? 3?
4, yeah.
4 is the printed cost, yeah. Increase the value of the die by the cost of that discarded upgrade up to a limit of 4. So you're kind of ditching a card from your board state to
Yeah, so I mean, you're turning your 2 into maybe a 3 if you discard a 1-cost upgrade, or maybe you're turning your 2 into a 4. Right. So, but you're discarding a card. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like a bit of an investment.
Yeah, it's like the Jawa. Is it the junk? No, there was a junk card that the Jawas could play that would like crash a support or something to get that much resources. Kind of similar. Yeah.
So it kind of evokes what's that card? It was a Boba Jango card where you could discard the number of upgrades, or discard a number of upgrades and deal that much damage to a character. Shoot.
Oh, was that any means?
Where's 86? Where's 86 at? He would know this card instantly.
Arm to the teeth.
Arm to the teeth.
Arm to the teeth. That's it. Yeah.
So that's kind of what this evokes for me. This before effect.
Yeah.
This is bonkers.
Yeah. Bonkers. Well,
Absolutely bonkers.
before we go into exactly how bonkers is it, Polly, do you have the Mandalorian mask there to hand or not? There we go. So this is the one that you would play from your set asides on, which I guess would maybe one of the purposes of that is that you could do the one cost upgrade just like Majo said. You could get that bump. But this is a basic one cost upgrade, plus one upgrade and plus one shield limit, which is probably quite powerful anyway for one cost, and it's got some shields on it. Anyway, but back to Mandalore.
Yeah. So Echo, are you thinking that his sides would need to be maybe a base a bit lower for him to be more balanced, right? Because you're kind of boosting them. You're coming into them this game with the strategy of, all right, let me place like 1 to 2 cost upgrades with the thought of maybe resolving them and then eventually discarding them maybe in the subsequent round to get a boost for the kill or something.
Yeah, I mean, even so, before Duncan read the text out, my eyes just went points, looked at the die, looked at the health, that's fine. Everything there is fine. And then you read his text, and that before ability, actually the power action is just mad. How it's written, play an upgrade from your hand, gain a resource. You don't have to play an upgrade from your hand. You literally, like, imagine your opening action, you just power action to gain 1 money. You just go, like, that is absolutely mad. Ignore
that's a profitable connection already.
Yeah, like absolutely the most powerful thing ever to just say, let's have our money. Like Beckett's fine because it was a truce. You both got a resource. But like this, just to just go, all right, yeah, have a money is bonkers. And so then you play your 3-drop straight away, you roll this guy and he's 50% damage, you're gonna probably hit damage, and then you discard your 3-drop to do 5 damage. Like, well, actually, resolve your weapon first, your 3 cost, then resolve it. So say you've got pulse cannon, pulse cannon, that's a terrible example because that would just get bombarded. Okay, let's go with your vibro sword analogy. It's on the 2. We've resolved it for 4. We're resolving melee damage. We then move on to resolving his character dice, which is showing a 2 melee. We're going to sack it off, get rid of it. We've just done 8 damage. Like, what? Really?
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then, but that's only one of his dice, and now we'll resolve his other die, and then we've done 10 damage. It's like, that's mad. No.
Yeah. It's basically like, if you look at the rest of the card, it's very similar to Din Djarin, which is probably a very broken card in its original form. Din Djarin was 14/18/2022. Let's just imagine a world where Din Djarin cost a 3 dice character. It was only a 2 dice character. It would be the same, 14/18. Din Djarin's 14 health, this is 13 health.
Yeah.
And the dice on Din Djarin is a 2, 3, and a 2 damage, 2 disrupt and a 2 shield. This is broadly similar. Din Djarin initially gave you a free resource, or if it's dice show damage, you get a resource, so kind of similar, get a resource. So Din Djarin, I guess, was already a broken card, and then Mandalore is similarly broken, but then you've got the discard and attached upgrade thing.
Well, I think Mandalore is more broken than Din because Din had to roll damage, which he did, don't get me wrong, but there's no caveat to this power action. This is start every round with 3 money.
Yeah, mad.
Also, just to educate the viewers, because I would tend to imagine his intent wasn't to just have the power action be a free resource. So
Sure.
we need it then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Let's
what
put
it-
it in there.
Yes. So it should say play an upgrade from your hand. Then you may gain 1 resource.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Okay. Well, so let's assess that that's what Captain Mallet wanted, intended. That's quite cool. Play an upgrade, you get 1 back. It's very Dango with his equipments from what set was he in? Spark of Hope. That version of Dango. That was very reminiscent there. That was like an After Effect, first time After Effect. This is a PA. But the weaponizing your upgrades, I think that's too strong on for what this guy's doing. Sorry, man, the beer's getting to me, so I'm getting a little bit gassy. I'm sorry about this. Apologize to the viewers. Yeah, it's too much. I'd say. Is this guy from Legends? He's not canon either, is he? Not that doesn't matter for the sake of this, but it's too much going on.
It's really interesting to me how almost instantaneously you look at a card Echo and you're like, it's broken, right? Whereas some of the ones where it's like, okay, something's there, you're kind of like a little more, you take time with it.
We've established this, Majo. That's because he's not, he's just no fun. He stops uncapped damage. He wants like the health to be broadly in line with the dice cost.
It's almost like this guy is just designed for airy sets. I mean, I don't know.
There's potential here. Like with the PA, cool.
Mm-hmm.
The dice, cool. Everything else is right, but the before you resolve it, I'd change that. I don't like that. We need to work that. A rework, and then it's cool. So we're 50%, 60% cool card. We just need to rework.
Yeah, I still think it classifies as ugly though in your terms. Is that right, Echo?
Yeah. Okay. I overreacted initially, but for how it's written. But then when we went into intent, the power action isn't as broken as you think. But the ability, the passive is too strong.
Yes, sure. Yeah. Oh, you're being too nice now. You could still slate it, right?
As I said, I want friends, man. I don't want to make enemies in this community.
Well, like you said, as it's written, as it is, it needs a little work, but the intent's there. Yeah. But as it is, it's a little on the ugly side, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
a little bit ugly.
Good stuff.
All right, let's move on. Listen, before you announce who this card is from, I will read it. Don't say who it's from. It may or may not be obvious.
No, I know. It's all to you, Majo. I'm handing it over.
All right, you ready for this is the final card, Echo.
Let's go. Let's have it.
I'm going to read the flavor text first. Now a toast to our head designer, Echo3 of Clubs. All right, here we go. We got Very Blue Milk. Neutral blue, 1 cost upgrade. Only playable at in-person events. Discard a card from your hand to remove a die showing a resource. Then heal 3 damage from a character.
There we go. I like the way that, for anyone that doesn't ever this, but for anyone that randomly comes across this video, that's Lando Wonka.
That is Lando Wonka.
One of the fellow Echobase.
Yeah, that's Lando Wonka, and on the left is Bert, and then on the right that's me.
That's right. Yeah, he's in the card.
Yeah, I'm even in the card at the bar.
I do think Lando is treating that blue milk as if it's a very expensive glass of wine with the way he's holding.
I love that.
Balancing it with his finger. He's very taking care of that. Let's see.
I want to go there. Who is serving this blue concoction?
So this was at TGI Fridays.
So anyway, that is more of a cheers, a joke card, a bit of an homage. Cheers.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Who made this character?
Cheers to everyone.
This was from Lando Wonka. Yeah.
He made this. What about the actual card though? Let's just discard a card from your hand to remove a die showing damage, then heal 3. Oh, it's totally broken. Yeah, totally.
Remove a die showing a resource, then heal 3 damage from a character.
Yeah. I'm taking Echo's place here by going. He might go as underpowered.
What? Well, we all, since we're always looking to resolve resource sides, so there's not really much that like gets rid of when they roll a resource. You can't really. There's not too much that gets rid of it. It's kind of it's a cool cards. You're trading a card in your 2 cards in your hand, spending 1 resource to prevent the opponent from taking a resource effectively, and then healing 3 damage from a character. It's all kind of it's balanced insofar as you're limited to the type of die you can remove, what it's showing. It's costing you 2 cards, but then of course it's above average from your field medic because you're healing 3 instead of 2.
Yeah.
Your 1 resource cost, but it's costing you 2 cards, and you're removing the opponent's dice. So the balance is
It's pretty good then.
no. If it was 2 damage, it would be a perfectly passable card, but 3 damage is too much. Yeah.
But you can only play this at in-person events.
Tell me about it, man. It's quite good, except I don't play blue, so
We
it doesn't do anything for me.
We need to get you up a Pre-Vizsla.
You need to give me villain yellow cards, guys. Come on, that's what I play. This would feel like spoiler season to me.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a good idea, though. You could incentivize people to play at in-person events by designing cards like. You could give Dooku a point drop from his original point. If you play Dooku at an in-person event, this character becomes, a point less what his printed cost is. Boom, there you go. All of a sudden, everyone's turning up to the local place again.
I see a possible promo card for Gen Con in my future with this card.
Oh, 100%. Very, very blue. All right, well, that's it, Echo. You survived the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for spending what is hours with us.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Anytime. I'll come and chat Destiny, Star Wars, anything, anytime.
We appreciate it. Even though a lot of the cards are dumb, you still have something useful to say, so it's good. And
Our cards.
thanks to any viewers that are still with us. It's been like a year since we had the last episode, so I think we can get away with a bumper 2-hour episode.
This is a big
Probably. Yeah, but it was good to be back, if only for us. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna. Oh, what's that? Never.
I think that's in reference to me. I don't know.
All video, he's been trying to get Camino unbanned.
Yeah.
True Camino.
What was I going to say? All right, so we're going to end on one thing. You got to pick a card, which we probably know what that is. Let me just remind you of the cards that you like.
Yes, please. Give me a quick card.
You quite liked On the Censors, which was a plot from Darth Vader. Which we'll go through. Yep.
Yeah.
You quite liked Wrecker's Gift, which was my card. Obviously need to work on the numbers.
Yeah.
Quite like the Buzzcroid from Lucas Biryani, if that had been a downgrade to a support rather than a upgrade.
Yeah.
You quite like Dumb Rocket a little.
Yeah.
But you very much like Cal Cestus from
Jill.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a great card.
So I guess you pick one of those, and then you're contractually obliged to put it in a future ARH set.
Oh,
That's a joke. Pick your favorite one of the video. Heads up.
Cal Kestis, a really cool card. Yeah. Definitely. Or the Battlefield was really good as well.
Oh, the Battlefield. Oh, Twin Suns. Yeah. From Lando. Okay.
It was like a con because these guys. I know these guys. They're like my friends, and it's not like that.
it's
Like
they knew that you were going to be on our video. But you're right. They're really good cards. They really are. Yeah.
Listen, we know you're going to spend a lot of time with us. We want you to feel at home. So we bring in some cards from people you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate it.
Okay, well, on that note, congratulations to Jill. Amazing card. That gets the chef's kiss. And that's it. Thanks for joining us, Echo3. Majo, Polly, and myself. Very happy to be back, choosing cards to do in this video and then talking about it. Was fun. And this has been episode 4. Episode hopefully hot on the heels of this. That's it. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. See you on the next episode and take care. Bye bye.